Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening for our Dual Language Community Forum, presented by the Fullerton School District Educational Services Department. A couple of housekeeping items this evening. If you wish to have the presentation interpreted into Spanish or Korean, please be sure to click on the globe down at the bottom and choose your language of preference. Also, in the Q&A section, you will be able to ask questions. We are going to try to hold the questions till the end, if possible. And you can type in the questions in English English, Korean, or Spanish. We will be able to interpret those questions and translate as well. So this evening, I'd like to welcome a few of our panelists. This evening, our interpretation is going to be offered by Ms. Kyung-Ki in Korean and Ms. Shayla Hebert in Spanish. And we have our Deputy Superintendent, Dr. Chad Hammett, with us, and also our Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, Dr. Dana Brown. And we have our dual language TOSA that is helping us with our slide presentation this evening, Ms. Andrea Ferrer Hamilton. So again, thank you for joining us. This evening is an opportunity for us to share what we have done thus far with our dual language program and the possibility of an expansion. And you will also have the opportunity to have your voices heard by completing a survey for us this evening in regards to our dual language program. This program today is not our usual parent informational program for our interest or our intents. This is a forum to allow the community to know what we have done thus far with our phases for possible expansion. At the end of the program, we will display our dates for when you would be able to show your interest and intent in actually registering for our dual language program in the upcoming school year. So for tonight, this is a forum. It is not our parent informational meeting, but thank you for joining us. Next slide, please. For tonight's agenda, we are going to be sharing about our Dual Language Academy at Fullerton School District, what programs we already have thus far. And then oftentimes when we have established a program within our school district, we tend to look at possible options to expand. So at this time in the school year, this is what we are doing this year. So we will go over the expansion and process in the timeline. And then, as mentioned, we are going to be asking for your input by filling out a survey. This will give us additional information regarding what the community is feeling regarding our dual language program. Next slide, please. So our mission and vision for our dual language program is stated as follows. We worked as a community to come up with our mission and our vision. Just recently, last year, we have taken the opportunity to adjust and add on to both our mission and vision through some community work and incorporating our students, our parents, and our staff in additional rewrites of our mission and vision. But we are focusing on creating a community of bilingual and biliterate and culturally competent students who thrive academically and love learning languages. So we established a very rigorous multilingual curriculum offering proficiency in Spanish, Korean, and English. And I say English as well because our students in our dual language program, some of them are still English learners, so we do offer them their supports as well as our other students. So this mission guides our efforts, and we look forward to the continued support of our community. Next slide, please. For the upcoming school year, these are the schools currently that we have our dual language program. We have two elementary schools and then two junior high schools in the Spanish language. So currently we have Pacific Drive and Raymond as elementary Spanish schools, and then we have Ladera Vista and Nicholas for our junior highs. Our Korean dual language program is offered at only one school right now, and that is at Laguna Road. And those grade levels for the upcoming school year would be kinder through fourth grade. At Raymond, we just took the opportunity last year to look at our program and see if it needed adjustments to include transitional kindergarten, as does Pacific Drive. We did not offer transitional kindergarten until this past school year, until this current school year, which we saw the need to ensure that we had that at both school sites. So we do evaluate our program, take a look at it to see if there's any changes. So this is where we currently are with our school sites. Next slide, please. The instructional programs, that models that we have for our program, our transitional kindergarten is at the 50-50 model, which means that half of their day is in English and half of their day is in Spanish, or by subject matter. The teachers go ahead and do certain subject matter in English and others in Spanish. Then this additional factor was looked at by our multilingual task force, and we decided to change our model from a 90-10 to a 50-50 model in transitional kindergarten because of the fact that the students were coming in a little bit younger, and they were needing to develop some social skills as well before entering into kindergarten. So that actually assisted us with these new developments that the state has required us to follow. So we were able to switch that over to a 50-50 model. Kindergarten and first grade, we offer the 90-10 model, and that is 90% of the curriculum and instruction is in Spanish and 10% in English. And then second grade, it increases in English to an 80-20 model. And then in third grade, again, we do another increase to 30% in English and 70% in Spanish. Once we get into the upper grades and into more of a testing mode, we go into a 50-50 model for fourth through eighth grades. With seventh and eighth grade, half of their schedule in the junior high is English and half of it is in Spanish. So right now we have our Spanish language arts, our history, social studies, and science that are completely in Spanish. And then the rest of their subjects are in English. For our Korean instructional program, we are a 50-50 model, and this is due to the rigor of the language. So we are offering that at Laguna Road in our 50-50 model to ensure that students are able to grasp the language and Next year, our inaugural class will be going into fourth grade. So currently, right now, these models are at the previously mentioned schools. We do take students that are not in solely TK and kindergarten. We do take students that are either in first grade, second grade, and onward. The only thing that we would try to ensure is that the students' language, second language, would be a little bit further along. So, for example, our classes start together in transitional kindergarten or kindergarten and then move on up. So, if you have a third grade student, we would try to see what their language is like, or if they're coming in from a dual language other than ours, we would ask for report cards to see if we can put them in to one of our classes. So please do not get discouraged if you do not have a TK student or kindergarten student this coming year. You would still have that opportunity to be able to register your student for our programs at the different school sites. So please just keep in mind that we do take students that are in the other grade levels. Next slide, please. So as mentioned, we have made a few changes in our program, and that is to we look at all of the different factors, grade levels, the language, but right now, currently, we're looking at our program to see if we have a possibility or a need or for an additional dual language school. So currently, you see this map. The current schools are outlined in black circles. So at the most northern part of our district, we have Laguna Road, that is our Korean dual language. The school towards the east in this black circle is Raymond Elementary, that has our Spanish. And then the other circle towards the west is Pacific Drive. So these schools are centered in a triangular fashion to ensure that we are able to serve our students across our district. Um, so the red circles are the schools that we are looking into and gathering input so that we can determine whether or not there is the need for an expansion of our dual language program. These schools particularly have shown interest in becoming the next school that offers our Dual Language Academy program for our school district. And those schools are at the most north in red is Hermosa Drive. And the school that is towards the east is that is Maple. And then the two schools that are one right on top of the other, one of them is Woodcrest and the other one is Richmond. So looking at those possibilities to see if there is that opportunity for an expansion. So with that, we took a look at different factors. We created a subcommittee and we created a timeline for us to follow to ensure that we had the best amount of input from our community and our staff. Next slide, please. So this is our timeline that we have followed from August to November that is coming up shortly. In November, we will offer all of our input, including yours from this evening, to our board to see if they would be making a decision if there is a need for expansion or if our community is being served with the current dual language schools that we have. So if you take a look, we began in the beginning towards the left side of that timeline.
Belinda,
And
there's nothing on the screen.
okay, thank you for that, Dr. Brown. Um, Andrea, can you stop sharing and reshare? Thank you for that. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Dr. Brown. So as I mentioned, we started off the timeline in August, and we formed a subcommittee subcommittee of elementary school parents, principals, community members, our union representative, and teachers. We opted for elementary because this is the option that we are looking to see if we are in need of expansion. So we did not include the junior highs because we have our two junior high schools already set. So we took a look at some historical perspectives. We surveyed the community already, and there was over 1,000 responses to the survey that went out district wide. Tonight, we are holding a forum to ensure that we involve the rest of the community and offer another additional time frame to be able to complete the survey. Um, we have assessed the physical requirements. So, for example, space on campus, the amount of extra classrooms that a school would have, because this program is in need to sustain if we offer another school. Schools have to have additional classrooms as the grade levels increase. And then also taking a look at demographics around. Principals know their community, so they have offered input regarding that component. We have included our unions, our teacher union and our classified employee union in our subcommittee as well. So we have been gathering their input. A financial analysis has been completed, and the process that we went through was to see the cost for another school to be expanded with the dual language program, and then seeing if there were any possible funding outside of the district funding. So, for example, grants, to see if there was any possibility to be able to support that expansion. And then finally, at the November board meeting, all of the information is going to be presented to the board and see if they are able to make any decisions regarding that. Before we go on to the next slide, I know there is a question in the Q&A, and I'm going to see if I can read that live right now. So the kids would have to attend at the school where the DLA is available. Currently, yes, right now, that is how we have our students enroll in our program. It is the school of that we currently have available for our dual language program. And those would be the current schools that we offer that. So we are looking to see if there's an opportunity to expand to another school site. And then another question we have, would the expansion also create additional dual classes at existing sites? That has not been posed as an option. Currently, we're looking to see if there is a need to expand, but it would be to expand at another site. Thank you for those questions. At this time, the next slide is for our guests on the panel to be able to take the survey. I am not sure if Dr. Hammett or Dr. Brown, if you would have any additional input at this time regarding anything that has been mentioned. We do have an additional question. How many children will
Oh,
be
okay.
selected per how many children will be selected per grade for each class? That all depends on our enrollment capacity. So if we start with the TK program, it would be 20 students. If we start with a kindergarten classroom, that requirement is 30 students. 31 students, and then it goes on up to 32 in the other grade levels as the class would mature. Okay,
And then
Dr.
I'll
Brown?
read the questions for you, Linda, so you can answer them. So one question is, so the kids would have to attend the school where the DLA is available?
Yes, we've answered the question, the three questions that have been posed, we've answered them live. So
Just to
let's
clarify.
yes. So at this time, if you can scan the QR code or type in the link into your search bar, and we are going to offer you some time right now so that you can fill out the survey for us, please.
There's one more question. Are dual language classes with students IEP's co-teaching model?
So the dual language classrooms, it would be an IEP team decision, and the co-teach model would not be part of the dual language program academy.
Is there a maximum amount of students per class?
Yes, that was mentioned. 20 students for transitional kindergarten. Kindergarten has 31 students, and then 32 on up until fourth grade with the option of going up to 34 students.
And then Andrea or someone, can you post the link in the chat as opposed to the QR code? Can you put the link actually in the chat there as well? There's another question. Is it too late to join dual language Korean?
So currently, right now, our intents are closed for this current school year. Our next year's intents will be opening up at the end of November. So if it's for this current year, you would probably have to reach out to the school site to see if there is any additional space. We do have some wait lists in some of the grade levels, especially for Korean. So if you could just reach out to the school site, that would be great.
And then last question, are there any plans to open a program at Beechwood? If it isn't circled on the map, does that mean there will never be a program there?
There is not the option for this current expansion to take a look at it, but it's not that it would never happen. There's always the opportunity to be able to expand to other school sites if there is a need that is seen through the work of a subcommittee or committee that goes into that aspect of doing the research for that. I see
Oh,
another. Yeah, that's
Sorry,
okay.
I'm slacking on my job here. Would the expansion, if approved, be for the 26-27 school year or a later year?
It would be for the 26-27 school year. Yes, it would.
Dr. Soltero Ruiz, have we been able to post the link into the questions yet, by any chance?
I
Someone
have,
said the link is not working.
okay, let me see if I can pull that up and possibly do that for you
I just clicked it. Let me try to put it in the
in the chat.
yeah, I clicked it and actually went to it. So give me a second.
I see 8 responses.
Oh, okay, cool. Let me try it again one more time for Valerie. Valerie, give me 1 second. Let me know if that works for you. We have another question. I think, hold on, give me a second. Okay, so I need to contact my son's school to see if they have Korean dual language. So, if your child, we have Korean dual language at Laguna Road. So, if your child currently attends Laguna Road, you would need to reach out to them to see if there's space available if you missed the enrollment window for dual language. That is the only school currently that we have Korean dual language at right now. Um, Another question for you, Erlinda, is would there ever be an opportunity to create a hybrid program for those elementary students interested in mastering their Spanish but did not start with dual language from the beginning?
Hmm. That is something that we can take back to the committee. If you can go ahead and type that into the survey under your comments, and if you would like an answer back to one of your questions on the survey, we ask that you include your email address so that we can respond back to you.
Okay, and one last question. I guess, Erlinda, you can answer this by saying whether there's a, I guess this is determined if there's a wait list or not. So how competitive is the Korean program for students to get into kindergarten?
So kindergarten, we do not offer a TK program in the Korean dual language program. What we do is we take all of our intents and we have an enrollment priority, which we will be reviewing at our meeting on Tuesday. So the priorities will determine if a student is part of the homeschool, if the student is has a dual language, a sibling in the dual language program. So we follow our priority list with that, and then we have lotteries for those students that are transferring in from other schools and transferring in from other districts as well. So there is a priority enrollment list that we go through. So never give up hope because oftentimes over the summer, people move and we have open spaces for students that have rescinded their decision. So we do have currently a wait list for our kindergarten classroom right now at Laguna Road. So, and that is the same pattern that we've been seeing since we have started our program.
And then there was just one question that I answered. I just typed the answer in, but they basically said, when would we know when this dual language program will be expanding or if it was approved to expand? So once we present our findings of our parent, community, teacher, staff survey at the November board meeting, then at that moment, the board will make a or provide us direction on how they would like us to proceed as a district. So following the November board meeting, we should be able to know what the next steps are in terms of expansion, if and when and what school sites. Another question, Dr. Sotero Reese, is there a waiting list for fifth or sixth grade Korean program?
Currently, no, because our grade will barely be expanding to fourth grade next year. So we do not have a fifth or sixth grade grade in our Korean program right now. Okay, I see 15 responses for the survey. If you could please take the time to respond to the survey. And then any additional questions that you may have, you can include them in that survey as well.
Yes, you can absolutely do the survey after the meeting is over, not a problem. We want to continue to have the surveys come in. So if you can't do it at this moment, you could go ahead and do it after the meeting is fine. A couple other questions, Orlinda, three more. What is the threshold for expanding to a certain school, and how many people would have to show interest? That's the first question.
Mm. Yes, for that, we have been gathering input for the possibility to expand at different school sites, and we have not completely surveyed whether or not there is a specific number of interest. We have just gathered the input from all our different avenues so that we can determine whether or not we can do the expansion.
Okay, thank you. There's some really good questions in here. Okay, so I have a couple more. Um, Hold on. What does it look like for students exiting the district and going into high school? And I'm assuming this means that once students exit the dual language program at eighth grade, what does that mean for going into high school?
So currently, right now, our inaugural class of students is at the high school. We have not taken that information as to whether or not they continued in the dual language program, but our eighth graders that have moved on to the high school did end up taking the Spanish AP exam, and 12 out of the 13 passed with a passing score of a 3 or 4. But at this time, we do have a continuation path to the high school, which is Fullerton High School. We are not a TK 12 school district, so we do partner with the neighboring Fullerton Joint Union High School District for our students to go over to that program.
Sorry, I was responding to a parent. Another question is, if a classroom is impacted, what is the procedure for that class?
I'm assuming impacted with a lot of students. This is why we have our wait list for our classes, and we have our capacity at each of the different grade levels. So we do honor that for our teachers.
What is the best way to follow up to be what is the best way to follow up to be updated on the result of the November board meeting?
So we will be advertising. You will see a lot of messages going out via our Blackboard to let everyone know that we have an additional school, or whether or not we are continuing just our process with our current schools for our dual language intents to register. So we will have parent informational meetings starting in December, which Miss Andrea, can you switch to the next slide? Is a nice segue. These are the current parent informational meetings that you can attend to be able to let us know what your intent is to register, and hopefully you'll be part of our dual language program for the incoming school year. Our first meeting is a virtual meeting, and we already have the Zoom link there. And this is a good picture for you to take if you're planning on wanting to register your student and show us that you have some intent to do that. So please take a picture of that. And then after our first virtual meeting that is in December, we will have 2 in-person meetings, one in January and one in February. So once we know what the decision is, then you will either see one additional school on the flyer and be notified, or we will see this flyer again that will be going out to our families and community. I see that the other questions were answered.
Yeah, there was this another question that I answered about what is the possibility of expanding the Korean dual language to Nicholas, and I let them know that currently Parks is the feeder for that, but if it's a possibility and based on interest, then we could take a look at Nicholas. But currently, the students who are in 4th grade will be planning to matriculate to Parks Junior High if they stay in the Korean dual language.
Okay, that is great. Dr. Hammett, we have a board member that's been trying to log on, and I think I just received a message. But nobody was waiting to get in. Everybody just hopped on, correct?
All right, let me see if I can get them access.
Okay. It's Trustee Estrella. Okay. Hopefully we were able to answer your questions, and yes, please, if you weren't able to answer the survey questions currently right now, if you can please do that. If you know of somebody else that was expecting to join us, you can pass the survey on to them. I do have 22 responses, so thank you very much. It is very much appreciated. And Dr. Brown, I think we answered all of the questions, correct?
Yes, we did. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Thank you for that. This meeting has been recorded, so we will be able to post that on our website, so that if, in case you know of somebody who was not able to join, we will have the information posted on our website. But again, we thank you for joining us this evening, and great questions that you posed. And we truly appreciate your time and support that you give our Fullerton School District. We thank you for joining us, and have a great evening.